Hey there, Russ here. Welcome back to the shop. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but I thought if I'm going to go back to doing these, let's start off with one of my favorite things to do, and that's an OTB Thinker video. So, what's this one about? As you know, it's about insulated screwdrivers. Let me start off by saying that my whole life, I've used hand tools. That just always seems to be a tool in my hand 90% of the time. So, I have accumulated a lot of screwdrivers over the years. Sometimes they're given to you, sometimes you find them, sometimes they come in little kits when you buy something, and I never throw those away. And so I have a ton of different screwdrivers. In this shop, I probably have 500 screwdrivers, I'll bet you, if I was to take a guess, of different kinds. And now all of a sudden I realize that as I'm doing my electrical work, maybe I should have some insulated screwdrivers. I see it all the time, people talking about them. And I thought, well, maybe I should get some insulated ones. So I went out and I looked on Amazon, and I started going through there and trying to decide what I would like to buy. And then all of a sudden the light went on, and I went, are you crazy? You have 500 screwdrivers. Why in the world would I buy another screwdriver? So I got to thinking about it. There's got to be a way to do this. No, I shouldn't have to buy one. And then, of course, the OTB light went on. And I got to thinking that, hey, there's the answer right here. Heat shrink tubing. So I took a piece of the heat shrink tubing. I put it on one of my screwdrivers, cut it to length, heated it up with heat shrink, and bada bing, bada boom. I've got my first insulated screwdriver, and it didn't cost me anything. So, why not? So, if you want to make yourself a set of screwdrivers, just get an old pair of screwdrivers that you still are good, but you just haven't used, or it's an extra set. And you can even do it with your main set, because an insulated screwdriver still functions just like one that is not insulated in most cases. But it's so easy to do, too. You just get your piece of insulated tubing, find one that's close to the same size, and put it on, and heat shrink it down. Now, this one here, you can see it's a little too long. So if you're going to do it with this one for this screwdriver, that Phillip, I would probably take, and let's just cut off a tiny bit of it. Let's see how that looks now. That's good enough. Take my heat gun. And you just heat it up. You know what's funny is that I sit here and I look at this and I'm thinking, boy, you could spend a lot of money on heat-treated tool, on insulated tools like this so quickly. And I just did not want to do that. So, this has turned out to work pretty well. And as you can see, it doesn't take long either to turn that into a heat screwdriver. Now I can probably heat this up a little more. It looks like I got a couple of bulges. I'll do that later after the video's over. But now all of a sudden I got a pair of insulated screwdrivers, and I didn't spend a dime. So now as far as heat shrink tubing, I actually am finding more and more uses for it all the time. For example, if you have a good pair of pliers and you're going to use them for electrical work, you got to make sure there's no holes or slices across the grain, because if you have your hand on that and there's a slice in that insulation, that electricity, if there's much going through there, if you put your hand close enough, it'll arc across that gap and get you. Same thing happens through the insulated pliers. So if you got a pair and it's starting, you can see where there's a damaged tool or something, no problem. Heat shrink, put it on there, heat that up, and now you have new handles on your pliers that you don't have to worry about it. So you can insulate just about any tool with heat tubing. Now also, I might mention that you can buy heat tubing. I've seen it where you can buy as much as a 4-inch diameter heat tube. Why would you need something that big? Well, I don't know. But if you ever did, there it is. And what I like about it is that this thing would make a great handle. For example, if you wanted to use this as a cheetah bar on something, to be able to put it on another bar and to be able to, let's say like a hydraulic jack, that is great. But you could take this and put it, and now I have a quick handle. Heat it up, and now you have a handle on whatever it is you're trying to put it on. So this is a great way to put a handle. Also, I have used this stuff as a collar around something to help protect it. If you take your hammers, let's find another one. You take a hammer like this, cut a short piece, and stick it on there and put it on the end of your hammer. You can protect the end of your hammer then from when you hit and it damages your hammer right up in here. I've done it 100 times if I've done it once. This will help keep it from getting damaged around the edge. So you can use this as a protective sleeve over just about anything too. And it does a pretty thorough job. I also have used that as a collar to go over my wood screwdrivers, so that whenever I have something in there, that collar around there keeps the wood from splitting open. It'll give you that additional support. So heat shrink tubing is a nice little tool to keep around. As far as your buying it, like I said, you can buy this stuff up to 4 inches in diameter. 4-foot piece of 1.5-inch material will still cost you less than $10. I think around $6 for something that's 1.5 inches in diameter. So you can put that on just about anything if it's less than 4 inches. So use your imagination and go to town. I have found all sorts of uses for heat shrink tubing, not just for the ends of terminals. Now, the only thing I would tell you is that I've seen 2 different readings on this on the heat shrink tubing. This is a 3-to-1 heat shrink tubing. They do make a 2-to-1. I assume that has to do with how far this shrinks down. I've never tried the 2-to-1. All mine is 3-to-1. So you can try the 2-to-1. If you already know what it's like compared to 3-to-1, let me know, because I don't want to go out and buy some just to try it out. But I think that just make sure you get a 3-to-1, because I know that works real well. And unless you tried the 2-to-1, I just don't know how well it works. The other thing I might mention is I have actually bought 3 different kits like this. One in red, one in black, and one in white. Well, obviously the black and red ones are for positive and negative on my terminals. I also got white because sometimes it's AC work that you're doing. But I didn't buy any green, which would have helped with the ground wire on that sort of thing. But one thing I found out, if you really wanted to, you could buy just the white for your electric terminals and for other such things. And that if you're putting it on a positive terminal as opposed to a negative, just get your Sharpie out. You can actually color this stuff, and it'll stay colored. So you can turn this from a white to a red for a red wire, for a hot wire, or to a black for a negative wire, real easy. So all you really need is the white stuff and a couple of good Sharpies, and you can make this any color you want. And that's what I like about having the white around. So anyway, once you start using it, you're going to find all sorts of uses for heat shrink tubing if you put your OTB hat on. So let me know if you have any ideas about what to do with this stuff that I hadn't thought of, or maybe I've thought of and I forgot to mention to you, because that happens too. But I'd love to hear some other ideas about what you can do with the heat shrink tubing. But to start with, insulated screwdrivers. You don't have to go out and buy more insulated screwdrivers. I have some good quality screwdrivers that I'm going to turn them all into different sizes. Plus, the nice thing about doing that sort of thing, you know that as you are using this stuff, you don't always use another one, and you end up with little pieces. This is a great place to use up your little pieces, because you can take several of your little pieces and stick them all on the screwdriver and heat shrink them all together. And now you used up all your little pieces of heat shrink and put them to good use, rather than just sitting there or to throw them away. So I tend to save them no matter how short they are, because I can tell you can stack them up for some jobs and use it. Anyway, that's about it. I've been rambling too long. I do want to thank you for coming by. If you have any questions, any suggestions, leave them down below. I love to read your comments. Most importantly, though, please come back again, because I'm nowhere near done. Thanks, and we'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.